The analogy is like a slow cooker. Not that you're being cooked, but we're talking about heat. Things are heating up. We've discussed these on quite a few of the presentations. Fire, vent, the Notre Dame Cathedral that collapsed, city is burning as it is called. The fire of purification is being turned up. You have been told this. And what is it doing? It's creating steam, and so therefore comes the presentation of vent, done a few days ago. Volcanic eruptions are happening over the globe. The ring of fire is coming alive. The pressure being squeezed, kind of in a pressure cooker, but not so hot, but warm enough to make you want to move around. You will be moving around. Make sure you're moving around dancing and not dancing on hot coals. All you beautiful, sexy human souls, Spirit speaks. In a way that you understand, it brings lightness to your experience. It put a smile on your face, and you probably even chuckled and laughed a bit. Good. You're going to need to learn how to let go and laugh a lot more. Get with the score that has been written. The music of the spheres is now etched on your heart and beginning to express itself. In so doing, where you are not allowing it to play, sound off, you are the one doing this squeezing upon the lotus that so wants to blossom in your own life. Do you understand the plan now? Called perspective. Don't be so selective of what you think is the likely truth. Invite it all into your experience. Put it on your tongue, taste it on your palate. Shall it be the best thing you've ever put in your mouth? How does that feel, dear ones? Are you tasting blood? Are you tasting orange? Or are you tasting a little bit of both? The blood orange, the blood moon, the dark night of the spiritual soul. You have a 5 to 6 year window of feeling pressure, feeling the squeeze, until you take your hands off of the soul that so wants to blossom, unbridled and free, and released back into its natural wild state. You will always find yourself in a state of confusion, not knowing what to do. Ooh. Are you tasting the blood of that which has already been paid for you, the price, the sacrifice that is? Or are you reliving it over and over, self-crucifying to bring everyone else, because misery needs company. Misery does not love company. Misery needs company. Be mindful of the company you keep. Most importantly, be good company to yourself. Release the pressure. Release yourself from squeezing the ever-expanding soul. Balloons do stretch, but one day, you continue to blow hard enough, they will pop. You don't want to pop into a sobbing mess, a bloody, sobbing mess. If it helps, confess all of your woes to someone, so it's brought into the light to be seen. That in and of itself is 50% of what you call work. Work you shall. If you Welcome to Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. It's been a while. 2 months exactly to the day that I did my last presentation and played this way with you. Can everyone hear the music and my voice okay? I went through a lightning strike on my computer and I had to reformat everything, so I just needed a break. Been recording an album. Hello, Vicky. Can everybody hear everything okay? Voice and against the music background, yeah? I've been recording an album. I'm gonna give you a sneak preview. Thank you very much, Vicky. Missed you as well. I did. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of a track. It's not really a musical track. It is. but it's fire. I do suggest headphones when I play this in a little bit. So go get them now while I'm just getting started. If you got headphones near, grab them when I play this music track. There's lots of stereo panning, imaging happening. I think you're gonna like it, and it's very far from being done, but it's the simple idea of something powerful. It's called The Sacred Dance of Kali and Shiva. So I'm gonna reveal that just a little bit. Also, Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, my new bestseller. The link is in here. You can jump seat to Amazon, purchase this book while you're there. If you've read it already, use the same link and leave me a killer review. It's a killer book. 30 years of my life compressed. Don't let the lack of thickness in this book fool you into think there's no depth. It'll grab you by the boo-boo. Boo-boo. Welcome, Center of Light, tonight. A dear friend of mine who I never met physically, name of Rena, asked me to do one. And I said, anything for you. About what's happening, where we are in this expression of God, expression of you. Is there a difference between the two? Right? There she shows up. Hello, Rena. We just talking about you. The ears are burning. What's up, Brian Rhodes? Adonna, Vicky, Kelly, Lewis, Paige, Katie, everyone on YouTube, Kelly, Dana, someone by the name of Dolores, hello as well. The name of Midori says, I buy stock in Yanavat. I'm going to set up that plan and I'm going to hold you to it. So tonight we're going to be speaking about Center of Light. Huh? And Weird Al Yankovic says, what the f is going on? What's happening? Hello, Joan Holton. Everyone, please share this beautiful work to your wall where you see fit. I would appreciate it greatly. And my preview screen is doing something a little funny. Before I get started, I want to make sure that everyone here watching on YouTube as well as Facebook, that your screen is not jumping, and it is jumping. What a bummer. It is what it is. I don't know why this is happening. Let me see. I think I can do something to fix this. Well, I guess that's what happens when you go away for a while. And you come back after a lightning strike. So we'll see what happens. Maybe you could just turn away and just use your ears. All right, so I'm going to keep going. So tonight is Center of Light. Huh? What the fuck is going on? It doesn't really need a label. If you want to give it a label, if you want to know what is going on, it looks like you when you look in the mirror. That's what's going on. You got it going on. It's all you. This is the importance of this presentation. It always been the same importance. But tonight it's about you. Really it is. Well, no, Keith, all this craziness in the world, it's about you. You want to change it? You want to stay with the game? Then trust me, it's about you. What the fuck is going on? That's the question you have to ask yourself. What is going on? Don't wait for an answer. You don't have to answer the question, but the question must be asked. Leave it open-ended. You don't want to come to a conclusion. You may sell yourself short. We look out into the world, the great stage of the world. We see a lot of redonkulousness happening. A lot of nonsense. It's your own nonsense. It's my own nonsense. It's our nonsense. But somehow, some way, we're going to have to learn to make sense of it. We're doing it. Congratulations. I understand you are living in the most incredible time, not only in the history of humanity and all of this insanity. You're living in the greatest time in the universe, in the omniverses, in creation. Hello, Kim Gary. You are it. You are the rock star. In the great movie called Planet Earth and Humanity. The earth belongs to everyone. Everyone. Equally. Hence the term humanity. Some people live in their ridiculous vanity all the time. And I don't mean just self-image on the skin. I mean even vanity from deep within. What's going on? Ask yourself that question. Don't try to answer it. If an answer comes, listen to the answer and then say, okay, that's a possibility. You put it over there. Don't worry, it's still sitting on the shelf over there if you ever need it. Be careful on what you feed it. The world is spinning faster. It's flying faster. The light frequencies are picking up. Are you picking up your pieces? I'm not going to mention any names, and this is definitely not political. I'm saying this from the platform or the point of view of it's just factual. Actual. It's happening. There are some people in that game who have no shame, no blame on themselves. They don't care about you, but they are falling. They're beginning to be revealed. It's always been revealed. People are actually starting to wipe their eyes and see. And one of them is this little squirrely man. He claims to be a doctor. That guy. No judgment. He's just an actor in the play. Whose play? Your play. My play. Are we playing well together in the cosmic sandbox? Is the question. I have a big presentation for you tonight. When I started vesseling this stuff in 1996, little did I realize. I had an intuitive feeling. This is sort of how it's going to go down. This is not a bragging Keith moment. It's a fact that we're all fortunate to be in this arena together to hear the message vesseled by Spirit, regardless who brought it through. Hello, Amy. Because even though I authored these books, I'm still a student listening to these same wisdom nuggets. I hear wisdom nuggets all the time from many different people. But writing this work in 1996, this is truly unfolding right now. So I'm going to say hello to everyone. Welcome to Center of Light. It's been a while. I needed to catch a breath. I did. I needed to catch my breath. Give me 1 second. I'm putting everything back together after a lightning strike. I bought a surge protector. Right? Hello, Tricia. Hello, Ramona. She says, the Game of Thrones. Hello, Miss Forrest, Andrea. So let me read a couple of things and we're going to get down into this presentation. Center of Light, huh? What the fuck is going on? People are so worried about what's going on in the world. I understand your concern. But if it moves you to a space of worry, you incarnated for this. You're here. Play fairly, don't cheat. You get out quicker, you get out better. When I say get out, I mean get out of the mess. It's how you take that blow on your chin. You gotta know how to take a blow. That's the strong. The meek doesn't mean weak at all. So no matter what chaos is happening in the world, open borders, closed borders, riots, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who lives on your street. It doesn't matter who comes into the country. It doesn't. Regardless, your good karma will protect you. Regardless, your bad karma will find you. So we can't blame people. Your good karma is a shield. In fact, you become invisible to those who vibrate lower than you. So they can't tread on your sacredness, that which you have become through your many however long, spiritual practice. Have you been practicing? What have you been doing? You've been doing your spiritual work? I hope not, because there's no work to do. There's nothing that you have to do except be your beautiful self. Nothing else. Nothing else will work. Not at this stage of the game. Nothing else will work at this stage of the game. Please share this work. It can help a lot of people who may be going through difficulty. Let's keep moving. Excuse me. From the Divine Principle, 1996, my first bestseller, which is one part of this book. My dialogue with Spirit goes something like this. I ask, talking in this conversation with God I am having, we are speaking about the world of politics. But this is not about politics. This is about fact. This is not getting into a political game. I'm not interested in that. And I ask Spirit, or say to Spirit, please tell me how we can make this happen. You'll see what that is, what the this is. And Spirit responds, excuse me, first, do not let what has been taking place to continue. It is your divine birthright to rise up against any leadership if it does not set you on a course towards a transcendent consciousness. This may sound like I'm supporting rebellion, but that is not entirely true. Because I do not support upheaval and anarchy, but I do support you doing whatever it takes to uproot any and all weeds that could stifle the potential of your Eden. Second, when you seek leaders, make certain they have a divine calling and are not someone you vote for just because they seem to be the best one running. Hello? Unlike the leaders of the present system, divine leaders will not even hint to you that they're the ones in charge. They will govern righteously and be of service to all. Third, make certain your chosen leaders have a direct connection to the divine so that in any situation, they can move to the good by praying to God, what do I do? If you are not choosing leaders with these qualifications, why do you even bother to vote? And I say, to try to make some kind of difference. Spirit says, psst, I will let you in on a little secret. Hello, election 2020, written in 1996. I will let you in on a little secret. Sometimes your votes are not even the factor. Many will try to convince you that the election process is a legitimate one, but do not be fooled. Election results are often determined long before you step into the voting booth. Some may dispute this, but there is no point. What do you think happened in the year 2000's presidential election? I said, I'm not really sure. That unwieldy political fiasco came to light when the divine intervened and exposed it. So why are we even allowed to vote if one candidate is going to win regardless of who we choose? Those in the system want to keep you believing that you have a say in the matter. In 2000, they used the ploy of a ballot foul-up to convince you that you count. That's a double entendre. That you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or that you count as if you matter. But even though the election mess provided both an excuse and a diversion, it did not dull citizen awareness because people were able to clearly see that something was amiss. And I say, since so many of us will be paying closer attention to the voting process from now on, it will probably be much harder for anyone to make such questionable moves. If they try, they will be stopped, and that will open the door for a divine leader to walk through. Yes, Andrea. Keep in mind what I said earlier. Your present legislative branch will collapse, and it will take many years to rebuild it. Because of this restoration process, many old guard politicians will be forced out. Hello, 2021. Because of this restoration process, many old guard politicians will be forced out. Your new lawmakers will not make law per se, but rather will introduce you to divine law and to teach you all how to fall into flow with it. Remember, too, the establishment of divine order is commencing as I speak. Earth is so beautiful, a precious jewel floating in space, yet there are many who do not appreciate this glorious planet, who continue to regard it as a place to plunder. Almost everything I have created to maintain balance in your ecosystem is being polluted and destroyed by such people as these, and if they are allowed to continue, there will be little left that makes life worthwhile. The entire universe is in a constant state of change. This will never change. This is where we are today. This is the presentation tonight that Rena so asked about, which I'm grateful to her for. I needed to go into this place myself. Everything is always in a constant state of change. This never changes. Yet within this paradox, there is something that has to be fixed, permanent, and absolute. An anchor that moors the universe's intention, order, direction, and unfolding. That something is God, the unchanging changer. Because you all have begun to do so much internal work, your perceptions are heightening, and right now it seems that there's more changes happening than ever before. The fact that nothing has really changed except your own level of awareness. Back before it developed, what never seemed to change was that nothing seemed to be going right in your lives. But your new cognizance has altered that for all of you, has it not? Yep, it has, and I believe I'm really starting to make some sort of sense of this paradox thing. Spirit says, you think? My friend, you are correct, because I can see with each passing day that you are spotting the synchronicity, the coincidence in your life, and are beginning to freely interact with them. And I say, wow, so where does synchronicity come from? How does it manifest, and what does it mean? Again, this is pointing to right now. Synchronicity. Spirit responds. It is born out of my essence in the causal realm. From there, it swirls through your mind and into your feelings, aligning events around you on the earth plane. But coincidences have no significance other than to get your attention through higher means so that you could grasp the very alignment that you are in. Right now, many people will say, bullshit, I'm not in an alignment whatsoever. I'm saying, yes, you are. The door is open. That's why you're seeing it's a gumbo. A little bit of everything. It's an Ouija board. You play with an Ouija board, it will play back. Because it's a doorway. You use an Ouija board as a tool, a divine tool, to contact spiritual energies. It's a door. And anything can come through the door. And anything that goes through the door is you. You're the one that goes through the door and back down to the earth, or however the game, or whatever game you're playing in your life. And Spirit continues, because you're beginning to truly open your eyes and ears, you can hear the higher language and can at last see order in what appears to be chaos. I say I can see the chaos, and every once in a while I can see the order, but it's still a little challenging for me to see order in the chaos. Keep looking, Keith, because chaos is like a snow globe whose contents may be shaken, but whose shimmering flakes always settle back into order. So it is in the physical universe. Though things may be shaken, they still find their place to settle. Now do you see there is order even in chaos? I say sorta. Finally, Spirit says, soon, my friend, soon. As you continue to awaken, this is where we are. As you all, I'm going to read this as a plural. As you all continue to awaken, everything will come into even clearer view. The pace of change will quicken for you, and synchronized phenomena will occur more frequently. The more you can successfully navigate using the compass of synchronicity, the more effective you will be as the captain of your own master ship. Then nothing will slip by you unmonitored, And the wake of your past will be replaced with your own willpower. This is how you will evolve. So someone by the name of Miss Forrest watched a video of mine last night that I posted from a few years ago, because I watched it just to have something to do. I often revisit my work. And I posted a video presentation about light codes. And I know she watched it because she's used the word that I created in that presentation. We got the alphabet. And what's the alpha and the omega? So the final language is going to be, I just made us call it the omega bet. That language that is beyond actual garbles and utterances of the throat. It's being in the omega bet, the final language of the world. Telepathic. And she says, laughing will eventually catch up the omega bet. I'm assuming that's where she got that from that presentation. If not, that would be an alignment, synchronicity. All right, so let me see what we have on the agenda. I'm going to play you some. I'm going to commercial break. Now would be a good time to grab your headphones. I'm going to reveal something to you, but I won't reveal much as far in the future. I will not keep revealing my album that I'm working on. I may do little snippets, but I don't want to give it away. I want it to be fresh, punchy, as it should be when it's complete. I'm going to ask, and I need two of you to answer on Facebook and or YouTube. Are y'all seeing the video stutter? This helps me learn to find out what's happening so I can get everything back into a proper working format since my big Windows crash. Is everything working okay? Is the video stuttering on Facebook? Just say yes stutter, no stutter. Hello, LaDonna. I'm gonna wait for your answer, get some water. Grab your headphones, I'm gonna play you a snippet. Yes, Kim, it is stuttering, or no, it is not stuttering. No, it is not. Fantastic. It must be my video card. All right, grab those headphones, turn it up. After I give you this sneak peek of a cinematic piece that's going to be on my new album, which is called Samadhi. The name of the album, the subtitle of the album is Into the Fire. All right. Samadhi, being in conscious union with God, or at least definitely intending it every day of your life. Samadhi, I'm in a cave within myself. I'm a monk. I'm a yogi. And I'm in this cave because I'm in the fire and I want it. All right. So a cut off of Samadhi, Into the Fire. Get your headphones, turn it up, and then we're going to go into a Lavender Soul song, and I'm going to be right back. Keith Anthony Blanchard, it's been 2 months. It feels good to be back. I feel a little wonky. I'm out of my muscle memory. It's kind of went by the wayside. So blessings, everyone. You are loved beyond measure. Let me grab this soundbite. I'll see you shortly.
Remember that all things are possible. You must choose to be accountable, responsible, enough to believe, and open your heart to receive.
Above and look at your life, and you see the life you live, can you be surprised that it all turned out this way and not the way you planned? It's about what you know and what you understand. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Learn to follow that inner voice inside. That's the one that's telling you not to run and hide. See what your life could be when you visualize. It's about what you choose. That's your real life. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Now it's time for you to plan out your life. Seeing what you do by your own design. It's all up to you to make it what you can. It's of your own free will. What don't you understand? Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Make a choice.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Thank you, YouTube. I have officially reached 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Now some things can change for the better and the momentum of Center of Light. Thank you very much. I did drop something on Facebook. However, YouTube only allows, let me try something. YouTube only allows so many characters, and what I dropped is a little too long. Let me authorize something. I'm going to try something. It may work. It may work. It's worked. Great. Now I can see the people on Facebook, so I don't have to go to another screen. It'll populate shortly. The song I played for you from my upcoming album is called Sacred Dance of Kali and Shiva. Hello, 2021. Kali, destroyer, death. She's, in this regard, Kali, the feminine, his wife, Shiva's wife, has a very strong masculine. And on the opposite, Shiva, though he is the male, he's very feminine. He has this loving quality compared to Kali. The sacred dance of Kali and Shiva, the fire, going into the cave and ready to burn and get all that nonsense out. Whose nonsense? Ours. What I wrote just a minute ago, or dropped from doing what I do, from whoever knows when, again, back to where we are in this dance of humanity, lockdown, soft quarantine, whatever it is. The greatest thing's coming out of this. It is. The world is gone, you know it. It's never coming back. Familiar things may occur, but it's gone. Thank God. This is important. This is a way of seeing, a way of perceiving, taking in, wanting, intention. All that is natural turns within itself, becoming infinitely great expressions of itself, or supernatural, God. And there's nothing you can do about it. If you want to see God in its most natural state, or the supernatural state, you have to open yourself up to beauty. I know what's happening in the world does not look so beautiful because you are too mundanely focused. You're too close. And you're looking at every little detail and you're picking it apart. I get it. I like to pick. I get a good sore on my arm, I'll pick at it just like anybody else. Pull back. The tincture, the salve, the spiritual band-aid is laid on the wounds when you step back. Watch it unfold. Whether you're a villain or a hero, many light years into the future, all of the universe is going to look back at all the cosmic players and say, what an amazing movie that was. I wish I was there. Hello, Mary. If you want to see beauty, you have to pull back. When I was in A Dark Night of the Soul, I do have a title on the new album coming out called Dark Night of the Soul, but night with a K. When I was in that Dark Night of the Soul, it was hell, literally. I was in hell. Hindsight 2021, it's the most beautiful thing that ever happened to me. Likewise, so is what's taking place outside. Don't look back and see what you could have done now or then. Look within and move in, upward, forward, and toward. What is it I'm moving toward? Don't give it a name. Just move forward, toward your greatest possibility. What is that? You're not supposed to know, or you would already know. It's always open-ended. Think of your best life. What would that look like? That pales in comparison to what truly awaits you. You see, this time now, you spiritual warrior, you, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with you. It really has to do with our children. See, you are a spiritual adult. And all the children move around the world. I got your children, you got my children. It's about the children. It's your children and your children's children and your children's children's children that's really going to start reaping the benefits of what you are doing. And the path that you're concreting, that you're laying down. You're truly laying down. So the humanity of the world can walk on you as a bridge, crossing the bridge to the soul. You're offering that up, or are you? Could you? Would you? Should you? So what is happening right now? I don't know. I have feelings. I have insights. I'm patient. I'm not patient at all. Shunya Murdy is going to speak a little bit. I love his teachings. I love his teachings completely. And I love you beyond measure.
One of the buzzwords I find current in postmodern discourse is that of the game changer. Events occur that change the nature of the game that one is playing. The balance of forces suddenly shift. A tipping point is reached. Something is revealed that forcibly shifts the frame of reference in which you are operating, and the old rules no longer apply. The old values, the old sense of what's going to work and what won't, and what is relevant and what is irrelevant. Suddenly a shift happens that is almost equivalent to feeling yourself in a parallel universe. But these game changers are usually occurrences for which one is unprepared. They were unpredicted. And we are living in a time where the game is changing very rapidly, to the point where it seems that the game is, can you figure out what the game is? And who sets the rules? And who makes the changes? And who am I in this game? And what is the intention, and how do you win it? And then, in dealing with such a fluid situation, in which the situation is not clearly a situation, because it can change into something other than what had been conceived to be the situation at any moment. What is the appropriate strategy to adopt in relation to such a flux? Is it to have certain kinds of rigidities and fixations and immutabilities of response pattern, of character, of ways of responding, whether yin or yang, with assertiveness or flight, with aggression or humility? And can one be in the situation of a flux in which the world in which one seems to be inhabiting alters its nature without becoming paranoid and without losing one's sense of who one is and what is one's purpose? There's the old story of the scorpion and the frog. Everyone knows that story. Scorpion wants to cross the river, can't swim, asks the frog, can I hop on your back and you'll take me across? Frog says, no way, I know you're going to sting me halfway through and it's all over. And Scorpion says, that's ridiculous. It's not logical. Why would I sting you halfway through? We'd both die. Frog says, that makes sense. Hop on. Halfway across the river, suddenly the frog feels a terrible pain. Oops. And he realizes he's been lethally stung. Looks up at the scorpion and says, "Why did you do that? Makes no sense. It's not logical." Scorpion says, "You're right. It's not logical. But I'm a scorpion. I had no choice. It's who I am." Well, in dealing with this world situation that we are in, is there truth to saying this is who I am? With regard to any traits, any patterns of response, whether that who I am is either the aggressive scorpion who cannot stop his own drive to sting, even at his own expense, because the drive is not under the control of his logical mind. Or the happy-go-lucky but somewhat foolish frog who good-naturedly accepts his own demise, knowing well in advance that that will be the result, but masochistically somehow enjoying it. Can we live in such a way that we are not doomed to be either the scorpion or the frog? Can we live in such a way that we are not held back by the constructions of drives that got concretized and fossilized in childhood or even in other lifetimes, and not have the ability to put our response patterns entirely under the control of our highest level of consciousness? And what is it that brings us under that demonic governance of our lives by what Lacan would call the acephalic drives, those non-reflective but reflexive, automatic reactivities that are often, all too often, inappropriate in situations that do not fit the paradigm in which they were first created, but nonetheless continue outside of the control of our heart and our mind. Most of the issues that cause us suffering are such fixations of reaction that were originally defense mechanisms that protected us from dangers that were real in the moment at which they were brought into effect. But that once they were put under automatic pilot, because we did not have the luxury of being able to wait and think about it and make it into a response that came from our cognitive level, but had to be instantaneous. Much in the same way that the nuclear weapons today of Russia and the US are on such hair trigger alert that no cognitive decision by a president or a prime minister will be made. It will be made by a computer within nanoseconds, even though it may be made based on mistaking a flight of birds for an incoming group of missiles. But it will be a decision that will have to be made according to the logic of the game that is being played by machines to whom we have given up our own right to determine whether we live or die as a planetary species. And in the same way, the determination of the destiny of our lives has been put on such automatic pilot, ruled by such drives determined when we were probably 3 years old or less. And those operating systems remain with the same kind of primitive aggression, fight or flight modes. And without the freedom for wisdom to intervene. The process of yoga is the redesign of the operating system of the psyche to eliminate such acephalous drives, such reactive, aggressive, or other pathological forms of reactivity, and that have been based on forms of identification, long obsolete, and philosophical understandings of the world based on far too little information. And far too primitive in the range of responses and nuances of potential shifts of realities and balances of forces and determinations of friend or foe or other kinds of determinations that would shift our degree of open or closed heartedness at any given moment. And the nature of the projections upon external reality that are emitted from a place within our psyche that our conscious mind is not aware of and often cannot recognize that it is dealing with not a reality, but with its own projection that it has bought into and accepted as if it were a reality.
I think now we have some grasp, maybe just a little bit, of what's going on. It's homecoming time. Cross the bridge to your soul. Get out of the human funk, the dark stuff. Start walking. Where am I walking to? It doesn't matter. You walk until forever, if forever it takes. Start walking. Be willing to walk forever. It will hasten your arrival. But where is it I'm going? You're going right back here is where you're going. But walk anyway. Shunyamurti had mentioned something about nuclear weapons. I don't like talking doom and gloom, so it's not doom and gloom. It's part of a plan to bring about the prophecy of heaven on earth. And that's you. You are the prophecy of heaven on earth. For the children's future that you spawn or have spawned. Hence the tree keeps dropping seeds or nuts. He talked about nuclear exchange. What I'm going to tell you is not to alarm, frighten, horrify you. It's to prepare you. What I was told by Swamiji, God realized man on earth, physically told me this in an interview. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but I'm assuming from his projection, where he sits, the likeliness of such a thing is going to occur. In fact, he said it's going to happen. I tell you this so you can prepare and put a cushion, a net of light all around it to soften the blow, if you will. Swamiji, a God-realized man, he knows everything. Everything. There's nothing he does not know. He's in the fire. He is the fire. It says, a day will come when someone is going to launch a nuclear weapon to America. Because he was in America when he gave the interview in Memphis, Tennessee. He said, a day's going to come when someone's going to shoot nuclear weapons here, and technology is going to take those nuclear weapons and throw it right back. Mark my word, the day's going to come. Sounds horrible. It does. There's karma involved for everyone. Remember what I said earlier and have been saying for a while. Your good karma will always protect you, no matter what. Your bad karma will find you, no matter what. So people who are grouped in countries, cities, towns, continents, why do we collect in these clusters? Collective group karma. We can speculate who might toss that weapon this way. That's irrelevant. Beautiful people are going to pay a price. What price? The same goods they bought as to why they incarnated in such a place to have it play out so they can get the aha when such a world event is going to transpire. We look outside right now and see all this chaos. This is only the beginning. It started last year. This has only been going on a year. We still got 8 to 10 years of this transition period. Just think what's going to happen when we get next year and the year after. Remember also what I said. When chaos and evil lifts, darkness lifts, so does bliss, opportunity, and divinity. Until we go high enough to where the darkness or the density can no longer exist in these levels of vibration, because that's why it's called darkness. It just can't. You walk into a room, turn on a pin flashlight, and the whole room lights up. It can't hang with the light. It just can't. It shan't. This is for your children. And you may want to come back. You may not. You may want to stay. You may not. It's all your divine choice, ultimately. Ultimately, you have no other choice but to finish the game between now and eternity. It's the nature of things. You will finish the game. Some people just want to do it sooner. And you go right back to the other side only to reincarnate all over again. I think I want to go back down, but I swore I wouldn't do it again. Oh, hell yeah, I'm ready to go for another round. Let's go. Hey, Keith, you coming? No, I think I'm going to hang here for a couple of yawns. I'm going to see you in a little while. Don't judge what's happening. Don't blame what's happening. Take responsibility, don't take responsibility. Don't involve yourself with nonsense. I understand keeping up with what's happening, getting a little peek at news, and I don't mean that news. I mean news from people who are in the know and connected, so it's new news to you. This is what's transpiring. Now you can open up your heart and send it out to people who may be in need because of said news. Love song of the blues. Take off your shoes, my soul brothers and sisters. It's quiet right now. We just got punched in the collective solar plexus, kicked in the balls, chopped to the throat, punch in the heart. We're collecting our win. And we're going to go again for another spin. But you got it. You took a blow from Mike Tyson in 2020. That's what you did. He popped you right on your chin, knocked the living shit out of you, and you got right back up. Knocked the wind out of you. Hello, Gundis. Hold on tight, but ever so loosely. Stay out of the political arena. Yeah, but my candidate is... There's 50% who disagree with you. And many others who don't agree with any of it. I know we want the best one running to win, whoever that best one is, but that's only relative. You can bet your sweet ass in the new world there will not be a president. Who's going to govern the affairs? You're going to know how to govern yourself fairly, and everyone else. I may do another presentation soon, see how it feels. I really enjoyed myself. I needed a break. I needed some time away. And I missed you all. I'm trying to intuit. September. August, September. Things are going to get a little sticky. Plant yourself. Be that warrior you know you are and you came here to be. You are loved beyond measure.